Alright, this is Chad Marshall's final project for Internet of Things 24/7, Oklahoma's newest solution for gas and fuel prices. Hi, my name is Chad Marshall. So we have currently achieved a fully functional gas station. Both the views of both customer and employee are detailed and intuitive, and we also have an LCD display for both the total price and the quantity of fuel in gallons. On the gas pump itself, we have an emergency stop button, and we can also see the customer's fuel gauge in their car. Alright, so my favorite part, the hardware structure. So we have the emergency stop button, which that sends data to the Raspberry Pi. And then the Raspberry Pi itself both sends both sends signals to the LCD display for on and off, and same thing for the fuel gauge bar LED. And that interfaces with the user's client device. So here is the circuit diagram. So as you can see here, we have the LED bar graph, and then though each node here is connected to a 220 ohm resistor, and then those are subsequently connected to ground, and each of those have connected to their respective GPIO ports. Similarly, we have a switch here. Both ends of the switch are connected to a 10 kilo ohm resistor, and that's connected to ground and also to its respective GPIO port. And then we have the LCD display here. We have that connected to 5 volts, and 5 volts. It's also connected to ground, and then we also have it connected to its respective GPIO ports. And everything else on the system, aside from the LCD display, should be connected to 3.3 volts. Next, we have the pictures. Okay, so you'll probably see a view of this in action here shortly, but here is the LCD display, and then here is the LED bar graph, and then you can see the array of resistors here, which are all 220 ohm. Here is the two 10 kilo ohm resistors that connect to the button. This one's hidden by wires here. Okay, now let's go ahead and get started on the actual system. So let's turn on my other camera. So, here we go. Okay, let's move me up here. Right? Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. So in order to initialize the system, say this is uninitialized, we can just initialize it on the employee view. The customer view should do the same thing, but I think it just initializes the customer side. So let's go ahead and refresh the customer side. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and run the Python program. First, let's do this one by running the Python program first before we start doing stuff here. But it can go either way. So let's go ahead and test the, let's do slot 17. Let's do diesel fuel, which is $5.10 per gallon. Have I already paid? No. How many gallons does my vehicle currently have? Let's leave it at 15-ish. That works. As you can see, I don't have a slot 17 on my gas station. And so let's actually change the slot number to 13. Now let's change it to 12. And let's do flex fuel, which is $3.10 per gallon. Have I already paid? Yes. How many gallons does my vehicle currently have? Let's top it off. All right, so let's submit that. Now, as you can see, the customer information has been adjusted in Firebase. Employee side is still initialized to nothing. Now, if you look over here, this was already started to begin with, so the customer does need help at pump 12. So we're going to check that. Aha! As you can see, it is currently filling with has the total amount, which is calculated from the gallons multiplied by the octane price per gallon. And then since we were just topping it off, it only went up, I think, 1 unit. since it was so close to being full. Okay, so this time let's restart the system. We can do that by just doing this, initializing this. This time we don't have to start the Python program immediately. Let's go ahead and get the data entered. So let's do slot 1. Let's do octane rating of 87, which is $3.15 per gallon. Have I paid? No. And then let's fill up almost empty, from almost empty. So let's submit. Cool. Now we can go ahead and start the Python program. All right. And so the customer does indeed need help at pump 1. Let's start. Now you should be able to see the stuff changing. Oh, and you can also check this and see that it has also changed. I don't think I showed the employee view earlier on Firebase side. Now we're going to go ahead and let the fuel gauge fill a little bit, or let the fuel tank fill a little bit so we can see the fuel gauge change. And then I will show off the emergency stop button. I think a change that is a little different from the previous implementation of this, from the proposal, is that I decided not to have emergency stop buttons on the customer side because I feel that would be a security risk. If someone were to compromise that, I think bad things could happen. so I think the employee should really be the only one who could really manually halt the system, because I mean it is contactless. Customers aren't going to be getting their own gas here. And then I mean similar thing for payment. The customer would be paying with credit card or gift card. And if they did have to pay for cash, we can just adopt business model like Sonic and give the customer their change back. So. We're almost filled up. I think that $41 is adequate. So let's go ahead and stop this. Aha! So we have manually stopped the system at $43.47 at 13.8 gallons. All right. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching.